So I'm not super great at Rocket League. In fact, I might actually be bad at it. I've been playing the game for around 6 months and I've just recently reached the rank of Gold 2, and as you can see, over 250,000 players are hanging out with me down here, stuck just below average. Which means you, Platinums, you're not special, you're just average. Anyway, on my quest to improve my gaming skills, an offhanded joke turned into a serious question. After 6 months of Rocket League and 6 months chasing the ball around like a poorly trained dog, I began to wonder, can you train a gamer the same way you train a dog? As in, when I do something good happens, and when I do something bad happens. Hopefully changing my gaming behavior to result in more good decisions, more wins, and more treats. It couldn't hurt to try, right? Spoiler warning, I was very wrong. This did hurt to try. A lot. I decided to conduct an experiment of sorts to see if I could improve my Rocket League game through the power of Pavlov. Well, sort of. Let me explain real quick. During the 1890s, Russian physiologist Ivan Pavlov was researching salivation in dogs in response to food. What he stumbled upon was the dogs weren't salivating when the food was brought in, but also when the lab assistant's footsteps could be heard approaching with the food. To oversimplify this way too much, essentially the dog learned that this leads to that. Using this positive reinforcement is useful when teaching do something good, get something good, but how am I going to learn to stop sucking and improve my game? 2 words. Positive punishment. Positive punishment is a form of behavior modification. In this case, the word positive doesn't refer to something pleasant. Positive punishment is adding something in the mix that will result in an unpleasant consequence. The goal here is to decrease the likelihood that the unwanted behavior will happen again in the future. Alright, now this is where it gets fun. Using these definitions and my admittedly flawed logic, I should be able to improve my game by simply rewarding myself when my team scores and punishing myself when the opposing team scores. But how can I punish myself? How can I really sear this behavioral change into my brain? Well, by searing it into my tongue with Carolina Reaper peppers, or at least Carolina Reaper dusted almonds. These Blue Diamond Extremes Carolina Reaper almonds are hot. Definitely hot enough to teach me a lesson about being a terrible gamer. The rules for the experiment were simple. They score, eat one extremely hot almond. We score, tiny sip of water. I gave myself a warm-up game and that was it. The challenge was on. Quick note, the warm-up games I played did not leave me overflowing with confidence. Didn't know. Damn it! Super bad. Oh. Fear maybe, but not a ton of confidence. The first couple of games started off better than expected, despite a few slip-ups along the way. It's so good. Final tally for the first 2 games was 7 goals for my teams and 3 goals for the opponents. Sounds good, but believe me, each one of those slip-ups stuck with me. Sometimes for longer than expected. Each almond had enough Carolina Reaper seasoning on it to make my nose run, my forehead sweat, and my brain fritz out in a way that made the 20 or 30 seconds after each one hard to focus through. But focus we did, and got some promising results. Just before I began the 3rd round of this torture, I happened to notice a tournament preparing to start. I'm gonna play another game, and then how do you guys feel about a tournament? This was the perfect chance to test my theory. Not only could I be rewarded when we score, but achieving my very first tournament win would be a strong motivator. With a new target in mind, I powered through the next match with a confidence-building 5-1 score, ready to dominate this tournament. The first round, eliminated in the very first round. I didn't really expect to dominate this thing, but the first round, having eaten 3 more almonds with only 2 sips of water through the match really was discouraging. As much as I'd like to blame my teammates or lag. Oh, my team left! My team left! It couldn't change the big fat L that I was now holding. Luckily, Rocket League has what's called a second chance tournament for those who happen to be knocked out in the first round. After very carefully wiping away my tears, I decided to nut up or shut up and take another crack at the tournament. I was paired with 2 new teammates and it was game time. First of all, my teammates were great. Although one of them stayed in the goalie position for the majority of the time, he successfully saved a ton of shots. They operated well as a team and proved to be a huge asset on the field. Our first match of the tournament ended with a score of 5-0, which was thrilling to say the least. Maybe my theory was right. Maybe I had learned from my mistakes and I was getting better. Then we won again, and again, and again. After winning the semi-final matchup, we had overcome the odds and won 6 games in a row. I couldn't be happier. Once again, there were some moments in there. Okay, we're doing good. I haven't had to eat one of these in like 7 minutes. We're doing good. No, we're not. No, we're not. No, we're not. We're not doing it anymore. Yippee. Where I wasn't thrilled about how things were going, but with a scoring ratio of 4-1, there was a real possibility of winning this thing. I only had to eat 7 almonds over the last 6 games, so I was feeling confident. While waiting for the final matchup, I decided to peek in on the competition and see how their match was going, so I could get an idea of what we'd be facing.
Oh no. Oh no. Look at these scores. Oh no. Faint breakout, easy aftershock. Okay, look at this. Look at this. Look at this. Look at this. Oh Jesus! The first game they played, it was 3-0, and then the second game they played, they are beating them 12-1. I'm not gonna eat all of these nuts in one game. If I had, dude, 12-1? Are you kidding me?
12-1? Are you serious? They had won their last game with a score of 12-1. The team we were about to face had scored more goals in a single game than I saw in my first 3 games of the night combined. To say I was nervous is an understatement. I gathered myself, straightened my bearings, and won? We won. The first game's final score of 4-0 was baffling, really. I expected more of a struggle. I expected to eat handfuls of scorching hot almonds, but we won. The next game was gonna be easier than... Okay, fine. Message received. I suppose I needed the reality check. I had to eat 3 more Carolina Reaper almonds, which were starting to taste like dirt, despite my tongue being completely numb. I couldn't drink any water through the round either, and there was only 1 round to go. The final round was starting and I could feel it. Both teams wanted the win and were willing to fight for it. The slow burning pain in the back of my throat acting as a constant reminder of what I was trying to do. Win. The match was brutal, full of saves, demolitions, and high-flying aerial attempts. Both teams battled hard, but by the time it was over,
Yes, baby. Yes.
You read that right. Champions. We had done it. With a final score of 2-0, my teammates and I had firmly placed ourselves at the very top. I was ecstatic. This was my very first tournament win, and although it was a low-ranking tournament, to me it felt like winning the Super Bowl. Not only had we won, but we had won in style. Throughout the evening, I had eaten 17 ridiculously spicy almonds, but was able to enjoy a staggering 41 sips of water for goals. I never thought this would work, but couldn't be happier that it did. So what did we learn? Well, milk is my new favorite beverage, and flushable wipes are not just for babies. Seriously though, motivation plays a key role in performance. Striving to achieve goals and avoiding mistakes is a good foundation, and paired with proper motivation can yield great results. Now I know this experiment isn't scientifically accurate, there were way too many variables and no control group in sight, but based on these results, I may have to try this again. I'm John Nothing. Thanks for watching, it means so much to me. If you enjoyed the video, drop a like and hit that subscribe button. I don't really know what it does, but everyone else says to do it. Have a great day.